Alright, this video goes over adding and subtracting integers. So first off, what is an integer? An integer is a positive or negative whole number. Generally, when we mention integers, we really mean whole numbers. So whole numbers that are negative, but not decimals or fractions. So for example, integers could be like 5, because that's a whole number. It could be 100, that's a whole number. It could be -2. It can be -70. Integers are not decimals or fractions. They're just whole numbers. Again, integers are just, usually when we say integers, it's negative. How to deal with negative numbers? I really like this chart that I made up. Basically, 2 positives is still positive. If you have 1 positive and 1 negative, doesn't matter the order, that will result in a negative. And if you have double negative, that is also positive. Another way to think about it, if the 2 signs are the same, it's positive, right? If the 2 signs are the same, it's positive. If your signs are opposite, then it's negative. So we're going to go over adding and subtracting these positive whole numbers and negative whole numbers, or integers. Let's start with 5 plus -3, right? So I like to look at this. This could be plus or it could be positive. They're interchangeable. This minus, that could also be negative. It could be minus or negative, interchangeable. When you have 2 signs next to each other, then we look at the chart, right? If you have 2 signs next to each other and they're opposite, either one, in this case is this one, then you can replace it with minus. I can rewrite this as 5 minus 3, right? 5 plus -3 is the same as 5 minus 3. There's no symbol in front of a number. When that's the case, it's assumed that it's positive, right? So if there's nothing in front, no sign in front, it's assumed to be positive. Now 5 minus 3, we can just, obviously the answer is 2, right? But if we were to use a number line, let's grab this number line. We always start at 0. So I like to think about, okay, the number and the sign in front of it. So I'm going to break this down into basically +5 and -3. Well, +5 is first. So I'm going to go, oh, I shouldn't put a circle there. So I start here, I go 5 to the right. So I go 5 to the right because it's +5, right? Positives on the right side, negatives on the left side. So I go +5 to the right. Next one is -3. So that's 3 to the left, but I start at 5, right? Now I go 3 to the left, 1, 2, 3. So my arrows are going in opposite directions, which means I need to subtract, right? 5 minus 3. My positive number is more positive than my negative number, right? I go 5 positive, but only 3 negative. So I end up at +2. Okay? So let's do another one. -5 minus 3. Here there are no double signs, right? I have a -5 minus 3. So again, it's my 5 is negative or minus. My 3 is also negative or minus. So I'm going to copy and paste this number line. Good, okay. So again, I start at 0. My first number is -5. So I go 5 to the left, like so. My next number is -3. So I'm going in the same direction. I just go 3 more to the left. 1, 2, 3. So notice how they're in the same direction because they're both negatives. Right here we have opposites, so we have to subtract. Here they're both going left or both going negative. So I end up adding, right? -5 minus 3 is really, you're adding them together to get -8. Oops. So get negative 8. All right, let's do negative 7 minus negative 4. Here we have to notice there is a minus negative, right? There's two signs next to each other. When that's the case, two signs next to each other, we can look here, but they're both negative, right? So the signs are the same, which means we can rewrite them as positive. So if the signs are the same, combine those to be positive. If the signs are opposite, like it is here, if the signs are opposite, then combine them to make it negative. So I'm going to rewrite this as negative 7, combine these two to be plus 4. And then paste this here. All right, so my first number is negative 7, and my second number is positive 4. So I start at 0, negative 7, so I go 7 to the left, and then I go plus 4. I go 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Visually, we can see that the arrows are going in opposite directions, so I need to subtract. If you look at just the numbers, I know I need to subtract because one's negative and one's positive, right? The signs are opposite, we subtract. So then with 7 minus 4 is equal to 3, except it is a lot more negative than it is positive, right? So we end up not at 3, but at negative 3. Okay, let's go. 5 minus negative 8. So here I don't have a sign in front of 5, so we assume it's positive. Here we have two signs next to each other, so a minus and a negative. So when there's two of them, we combine them. They're the same, so they turn into plus. So this is really 5 plus 8, and we obviously know that's 13. But if we were to do the number line way, we would start at 0, go 5 to the right, like so, positive 5. Right, this is positive 5, and then we go positive 8, 8 more to the right, which would be all the way here. So same direction, right? Arrows are going the same direction, so we add, or if you look at the signs are the same, so we add 5 plus 8 is 13. A few more. Let's go negative 52. Oh, no, that's too big. Negative 5 plus 3. Let's keep it simple. So there are no double signs, so I can just focus on the numbers. Here 5 is negative and 3 is positive. So we start with 0, go to negative 5, or 5 to the left, and then 3 is positive, so I start here and go 3 to the right, and I end at negative 2. If we look at this without graphing, I can tell the 5 is negative, the 3 is positive. Here the signs are opposite, so I need to subtract. 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. And then the 5 is more negative than the 3 is positive. So the negative overwhelms it, which makes our answer negative 2. Then let's go with 10 plus negative 8. If we have 10 plus negative 8, again, we have a double sign here. The signs are opposite, right? Plus minus. When it's plus minus, and the signs are opposite, in this case plus minus, it's going to be negative. So I'm going to rewrite the double sign as a negative. So this becomes minus, and then it's just 10 minus 8, and that's obviously just 2. But if we were to do it graphically, we would go, this 10 is positive because there's no sign, so it's assumed to be positive. So you go 10 to the right because it's positive, so plus 10, and then 8 to the left because it's negative, and we end at positive 2. Or numeric or symbol-wise, positive and negative, so we know they're opposites, so we need to subtract. 10 minus 8 is 2. And in this case, I am more positive, because 10, than I am negative of the 8. So the positive overwhelms the negative, so my answer is positive 2. All right, let's do a few without the number line. So let's say negative 12 minus 19, right? 12 is negative, 19 is also negative, so the symbols are the same. If the symbols are the same, I'm going to add. So 12 plus 19 is 1131. And this is negative, that's negative, so my answer is obviously negative. If I have, like, let's do negative 8 minus negative 7. Here we do have a double sign. When there's a double sign, we need to combine them into one symbol, which, since they're both minus, they're the same, so it's plus. So it becomes negative 8 plus 7. My 8's negative, my 7 is positive. Here the signs are opposite. If they're opposite, we need to subtract. So 8 minus 7 is 1. And then we got to figure out if it's positive or negative 1, right? My 8's more negative than my 7 is positive, right? Because 8's bigger than 7. So ultimately, my answer is going to be negative 1. Negative 5 minus 5. For this problem here, they both have just one symbol in front of them, or one sign. So they are both negative. So they're the same sign, which means I add. So 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. And then since they're both negative, my answer is going to be negative 10. So I should negative 5 plus negative 5. Okay. Let's go with 4 minus 10. Right. This 4 has no symbol in front of it, so we can assume it's positive, and this 10 has a minus in front of it, so it's negative. So here the symbols are opposite, positive, negative. If they're opposite, we need to subtract because they're going in different directions. So the big minus small, 10 minus 4 is 6, and then 4 is positive, 10 is negative, so it's more negative than it is positive, so which means our answer is negative 6. What happens if it's 3 different numbers? Let's say negative 9 plus 5 minus negative 8. If there's 3 terms like this, we just do 2 at a time, right? Orders of operation tells us we need to go left to right. So we do just this part first. This is negative 9 plus 5. My signs are opposite, so I need to subtract. 9 minus 5 is 4. I am more negative than I am positive, right? The 9 is bigger than the 5. So my answer is going to be negative 4. So it'll be, this whole thing will be negative 4, and then bring this part down, minus negative 8. Here we have a double sign. They are the same, so we can rewrite this as plus. So it's going to be negative 4 plus 8. Now we only have single signs, so we group them up. Okay, my 4 is negative, my 8 is positive, so they're opposites, which means I need to subtract them since the arrows are going in opposite directions. Right, so 8 minus 4 is 4, and then I am more positive than I am negative. So my answer is positive 4, or just 4. All right, good luck on practice.